What's up, fools? This is going to be a start of a new series, I guess. I don't know what it's called yet. Oh, got the mask just in case I run into people, but go ahead and drop it down. Yeah, actually, my housemate and fellow student in the DPT program, Zach, gave me this idea to, just kind of do like an actual running vlog. I don't know how many people actually go on a run and talk at the same time, so figured out it might be kind of a cool video idea to do, and yeah, try to see if I can get a good pace while I'm running and see how well the memory flows while I run, see if it's easier or harder than eating hot wings, so I guess, well, first, real quick, the route I'm doing is kind of like a half hill, half downhill route. It's about 2.5 to 3 miles depending on which way you take. Right now I'm only doing about 2.5 at an easy talkable pace. Also, this morning I played a game of some basketball with some of my housemates and some other people from our cohort, and I actually went on a run earlier, but I forgot about doing this idea that my friend told me about, and I'm now slowly starting to regret, to be honest, because I'm absolutely winded already. So, might just slow it down a little bit. But the topic that I have for you guys today is how I decided to become a physical therapy major in the first place. If you don't know me, physical therapy wasn't the first route that I chose coming out of high school, and it also wasn't totally the first route that I had in college too. I actually at first decided that I wanted to do architecture, and that's what I did going into community college. So if you're new to this, I'm originally from Santa Cruz, California, which I guess is about 6 hours north from where I currently am in Azusa, where I'm 3 semesters into my DPT program. Anyways, I graduated high school in 2012. Went to SoCal High School, had a lot of fun doing cross-country, track, playing in the marching band, but I was kind of stuck between 2 different majors. I either was going to do kinesiology, which is the path that I ended up doing, or I was going to do architecture. And I'll say, it's not that I didn't really want to do kinesiology, it's more so I thought I should do architecture. I don't want to give up any or make fun of any stereotypical Asian stereotypes, but I feel like a part of me thought that doing kinesiology, or at least the kinesiology major, wasn't really like a suitable major for like smart people, which honestly I wasn't. But I thought I should be doing something like CS or engineering. Honestly, I'm not smart enough for either of those two, so I picked architecture, and I was honestly pretty motivated to do it at first, mostly because in high school I did environmental club all 4 years. So I was really into minimalist architecture, kind of all of that tiny house movement, thinking about how to design certain apartments with the smallest square footage while still incorporating, all the features that I think most people will want. Well, long story short, turns out you need to take a lot of hard classes if you want to transfer to an architecture program. So I had to take physics, I had to take calculus, and they were all super hard courses that honestly I didn't do too well in. I mean, obviously I did well enough to pass the classes, but ideally I should have been doing better in those classes if I wanted to be able to transfer to an architecture program. Another cool thing I was able to do is I took a beginner's architecture course at my JC, and the person teaching the class actually was a working architect. So he basically offered everyone who was taking the course, if they wanted to learn more, they could intern at his office. So, I took him up on it. Luckily, his office was in downtown, which is pretty much walking distance from the house. And I'd go over there on the weekends, and it was a really, good experience. He taught me how to use AutoCAD and Revit. I mean, honestly, I don't know how to use any of that software anymore, but nonetheless, very enriching experience that I'll always remember. Another long story short, turns out there's a lot of sitting involved with being an architect. So when I would go and kind of do my interning duties with him, I would just be sitting in front of a computer for hours at a time, just typing away, moving my mouse, trying to make designs for him. And it was all interesting and all, but I honestly couldn't see myself sitting there and sitting at a desk for the rest of my life doing AutoCAD. Screw that. I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. So I think at that time, Cal Poly San Luis Obispo had one of the best architecture programs, at least on the West Coast. So I had plans to transfer to Cuesta College, which is another junior college in San Luis Obispo. And I had plans to do this because Carrillo College didn't have all the architecture prerequisites that I needed in order to transfer. So I think a month before I was supposed to transfer, I told my parents, all right, I think I'd rather want to do kinesiology. It's more of what I want to do, and I just don't want to do architecture anymore. And luckily for me, they're actually super happy about it, because they saw that I think they saw that I didn't really have my heart in architecture. They saw that I was definitely more interested in fitness and health, so they're definitely a lot more happier once I switched majors. And I'm definitely super grateful for that, because I feel like I hear all the time from people that I know, even family, of them telling the parents how they want to switch majors to something else that they enjoy more, but they feel the pressure to do what their family wants to do, whether that be finishing college or doing a more, I'll say, financially successful major. And I've been super blessed at this point to have parents to be so supportive of my goals so far. Well, anyways, I think, well, man, I missed a lot of things. I should have said some things before that. All right, it's fine. We'll get to it. So, another one of the reasons, and this actually is my main reason right here on why I decided to do physical therapy, and it's because of one project that I had in public speaking class at Cabrillo College. So I forgot what the prompt is for the assignment, but basically we had to talk about something that, you know, we have a lot of passion for. And one of the things I had a lot of passion for at that time was minimalist running shoes. I don't know if you noticed at the beginning of this video, I slipped on my Luna Sandals running shoes, which I enjoy running in very much, but they are a brand of minimalist running shoes. Anyways, I wanted to gather some more research on what exactly makes minimalist running shoes so beneficial for runners. And though I originally got the inspiration from the book Born to Run, I felt like I wasn't finding enough material in there for my presentation. So my Professor Gentili, great lady, one of my favorite professors of all time, she told me about a physical therapist that worked on campus, and she said I should go visit him to ask him about minimalist running shoes. So I walked across campus and I was introduced to a Dr. Jeff Moreno of Precision Physical Therapy, and I asked him, you know, what makes minimalist running shoes so great, or, you know, why do people gravitate to using them? And the reasons, the explanations that he gave me, you know, I can't really explain it, but I'd really never been so interested in the human body up until that point. Like, everything he was telling me, I just felt it inside me like, yo, I just want to learn more about this. This is definitely something that I would like to learn and be able to teach other people about. So that definitely was one of the, I'll say, most profound moments with me wanting to pick physical therapy as my chosen career. I know most people, when they choose physical therapy, it's because they had injuries growing up and they spent time with a physical therapist, and through that experience, that's why they wanted to become a PT. Not me. I've honestly never really been injured, you know, probably because I haven't been pushing myself hard enough, but that's besides the point. Another funny fact, after I learned that he was a physical therapist at a clinic, I also too asked him, hey, I would love to intern at your clinic. What do I need to do? He said, unfortunately, we want volunteers who already kind of have a background in anatomy and physiology, and I definitely had not taken any courses in that yet, so I was unable to. But flash forward like 5 more years, he was still working at that clinic. I started volunteering there. I became an aide, and then I worked there at that clinic for 2.5 years before I got into PT school. So, you know, it's kind of cool how that just came full circle right there. But yeah, flash forward to let's see, 2014, 2015, I was at Cuesta trying to transfer to Kinesiology at Cal Poly, and I think during this time I had kind of my mindset on physical therapy, but there was still a part of me that wanted to do personal training. I think in all, personal training really is kind of like my main passion, but I do have an innate want to be able to treat anybody for whatever they come in, so that's kind of my main reason for choosing physical therapy. But I started interning, so many interning areas. I started interning at this gym called Athlon. I forgot. I was about to say Athlon X, but that's Athlene X. Yeah, I think they're just called Athlon Sports Performance. They're in San Luis Obispo, and they actually share their building with another physical therapy clinic. But I did an internship with Athlon. They basically taught me about programming, and they had me observe all their personal training classes. It was definitely a very good experience. And at the end, after everything we learned, we were able to try to, direct one of their exercise classes. And I think the idea was like, if you do really well and you impress them, then maybe down the road they might offer you a job. Well, as you can guess, I did awful, like so bad. Honestly, I did pretty bad the whole internship. And after that, I just thought, I don't want to do, not that I don't want to do personal training, because I definitely enjoy talking to people and helping them with their problems. But I thought to myself, I definitely don't want to do group classes ever again. And I'm about to do another fast forward real quick. Funny story, once I graduated with my BS from Cal Poly, like 3 months later, I got recruited to be a personal trainer, and I just taught a bunch of group classes, and it wasn't bad at all. And I definitely credit Athlon for kind of preparing me in what I would need to know for that job. And so my failures from Athlon helped create my success at Santa Cruz Core, which is the company that I worked for about, I think, a year and a half. Really great opportunity. Thank you, Bo and Jamie, for giving me the opportunity. And thank you, Carlos, for scouting me. Shout out, Another funny story. So one of the other clinics that I worked at while I was working at Precision Physical Therapy after I graduated from Cal Poly was Ronning Physical Therapy. They're located in Aptos. If you live in Aptos and you need PT, go check them out. Shout out to them. But right across the parking lot from Ronning Physical Therapy is, I think, Capitola personal training or something, but they're run by Carlos, or we're run, I don't think he's there anymore. But Carlos used to work as an aide for Ronning Physical Therapy. So he knows basically that the people working for Ronning are good stand-up people. So he saw me walking outside one day after work. He was like, "Hey, you!" I was like, "Oh man, who could he be talking to?" He's like, "Yeah, you over there." So I started walking over, and he was like, "Hey, you want to be a personal trainer?" I was like, "Yeah, sure. I mean, yeah, I've always wanted to be a personal trainer, but truth be told, I don't have my certification yet." And he was like, "You got a bachelor's degree?" I was like, "Actually, yeah, I do." He's like, "All right, good enough. I'm gonna set you up with my boss, Bo. He'll contact you, and we'll see if you can get a job." I was like, sick, dude. I've always wanted to be a personal trainer. So I think within the week, Bo texted me. He's all right, come down for an interview. I come on over. He said, oh, it's alright, you don't got certification yet. Honestly, the bachelor's degree works fine. He said, what you can do is we'll have Alex, another one of our personal trainers, mentor you. Real quick shout out to Alex for getting into PA school. Hope that's going well. But you can get your ACSM certification in the meantime. And that's what I did. So some guy, basically, quote unquote, some random guy scouted me outside the physical therapy clinic, and that's how I became a personal trainer. So yeah, for the better part of, for about a year, I was working both clinics, and then Friday morning, Saturday and Sunday, I go do personal training with Santa Cruz Court, doing both group and personal classes. Lots of fun. Definitely try to use some of the techniques that I learned in clinic to treat people who had pain. The personal training level, did my best with what I could. But yeah, that was kind of a real long circle of a run. I'm honestly surprised I was able to talk for that long. But yeah, that's kind of how I got into physical therapy, how I got into personal training, and in the end, I hope to kind of do both. Open up my own clinic or gym where I can offer both physical therapy and personal training. Maybe, hopefully, work with some of my fellow aides who are now in PT school, or other personal trainers that I've been blessed to be able to work with through the past couple of years. But yeah, I think I tried to cover as much as I can, or as much as I could through that time period. I'm sure I definitely missed a lot of things, but as you can tell, I kind of had my mind on other things, like trying not to trip, because I'm honestly pretty clumsy. But yeah, you know what to do. Subscribe if you want more content like this. Like the video if you enjoyed story time with Wes, and comment down below with maybe more stories you want to hear, maybe information you'd like to learn about. I'm currently running at about 215 pounds right now, so definitely not in my cross country and track shape like I used to be. Well, that's about it. I'm pretty much home now. Thanks for watching this video. Thanks for watching all my videos so far. Nice. Perfect. Whew. All right. Peace. Thanks, guys.